What is up, guys? Another episode of Shellonomics. We had the good co-host of Epic Tales from the Sewers, Justin Cooper, on for not one but two episodes, and he recommended me to his other co-host, Eric Will. What we're going to be doing today, guys, is talking about the top 10 Ninja Turtle video games of all time, mine and his opinion. So, Eric, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself there?
Very well. Thanks for being a part of the show. So what are your earliest gaming memories of the Ninja Turtles fan base? Just Turtle video games.
Turtle video games. Well, we got to go with the original. No, actually, I'm not going to go there quite yet. I'm actually going to go with the arcade.
Okay.
The arcade one, like the original arcade, game.
Yes.
That was probably one of my first ones. And of course, then I got into the NES ones, back in the day, the first one, second one, and of course, 3. So, those were my probably my earliest ones that I went into. And then, of course, any SNES. But yeah, that's where it all started for me, was the arcade.
Did you ever beat the arcade as a kid?
No, I didn't have as many quarters back in the day to get through it. I mean, that's what the arcades were made for, to make you to put as many quarters as you can put in there. So, I never got to beat it, but I mean, of course, the Cowabunga Classic kind of helps you on that one there.
Yes, thank God.
Cowabunga Collection. Sorry.
No, exactly. No, I got lucky that there were just a whole bunch of other people playing that game, and I said, "Hey, I could finally pop in at the Technodrome." I'm like, "Mom, I need $5 now. I can finally do this." So I was able to beat it. I don't know if you're in Illinois, but we had a Little Caesars, like the old pizza place, and they actually had an arcade. That's where I actually beat the game. They had a really good arcade back in the day. I don't know if it was like a Little Caesars. If you look it up online, I think they still call it like Little Caesars Funland.
No, I don't live in Illinois. When everything all came out, I want to say I was probably in between West Virginia and Maryland.
Oh,
So
okay. Gotcha.
there was like a couple like places close to my hometowns wherever I lived at. We went to, of course, a pizza place, and just so happens that they have Turtles games there. So that's where I played my Turtles games, and of course the NES when I had it.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Other early memories before we get into this top 10. So, how far did you get in the first Turtle game for Nintendo as a kid, without game cheating, without any without any cheating, so to speak?
So, I can't remember the exact level, but I remember it was right after the ones where you got to use the where you got to fight after Metalhead.
Okay.
It was like Metalhead after you fight Metalhead on the first one. So of course, the infamous dam level was always the roughest, but got through it. Of course, you get a turtle back later in that level. So yeah, that's about the furthest I made it. I've actually beat it because of the Cowabunga Collection.
Doesn't it? There was no better feel. I finally got that one last year, fair and square. The only game I still got to beat is Radical Rescue. I have to beat that without the rewind feature. But yes, the Cowabunga Collection. I guess just how awesome is it to actually have that? Because I never had the Game Boy games growing up, and to have it all for, I mean, dude, these were $50 a piece, and you get it all for, I think it's even maybe like $30 right now, present day. I think it's even gone down in price.
Yeah, I haven't really kept up with the prices with the newer games.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have been going down. I actually picked up Shredder's Revenge on PS4 for $10, brand new sealed. Steal, absolute steal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have gone down in price. I'm kind of curious why. Don't know why. I mean, we do have the Ronin coming out too soon. So
yeah, that one should be good. What else? So did you have, now you were talking about the 4-1 Live. You said, do you have every Ninja Turtle game? You said you have over 50 Turtle games, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Wow. So this means you even, now I'm going to ask you a couple rare ones later on, but so that means you have all your, the Konami series, right? The trilogy there. Do you have Turtles Smash Up?
Yes, I have that one too.
Smash Brothers. All right, let's see what else is kind of, the Game Boy and DS games, Game Boy Advance, those games.
Like I have. Yes, I have most of the. Let's see. I have most of the Game Boy Advance, which is complete in box. I do have all the Game Boys, all 3 of the Game Boys, Radical Rescue. So that's one of the grails of mine. I do have Fall of the Foot Clan in box complete.
Oh, that looks sharp too.
Um, I have all those. I know I have all of the ones that were Nintendo 3DS and
Yep.
3DS and 2DS. I do have
Arcade
all
Attack.
those.
Okay.
I have all the Sega, all the Super Nintendos, all the Nintendo ones. I think I've completed. No, I haven't completed all the PS2 ones.
Oh, so we
But
even go for the varieties because again, that Turtles trilogy from the Konami series was on PlayStation,
yep.
GameCube, and were they also on Xbox?
Yes, they
Okay.
were. Yes, I don't even have an Xbox, but yet I still collect the Xbox games. I actually
Okay.
have Mutants in Manhattan actually
Okay.
sealed on for Xbox.
Oh, very nice. So, how about some rare games here? Do you have Out of the Shadows? Did you buy that one when it came out, 2012, 2013?
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, it's on my PS3, and I actually deleted it to make some room, and then I try to go back to get it, and I can't get it because it's no longer available.
Oh my God, that's awful. So, for the Xbox 360, you're able to re-download it. PlayStation won't let you go back to your old account?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I haven't
Okay.
checked in years, and it's probably something that
Okay.
I probably should do,
Yeah.
just for the simple fact that I did. And plus, there was Turtles in Time reshelled.
Yes, that one I was going to talk about that one next. Yeah, it was another
Yep.
one that just that was for the 25th anniversary, I believe, right? And they were
Yep.
just celebrating. Okay. How about Manhattan Missions? Have you ever been able to play that one for the Miss DOS? That is one we did for our Twitch Shellathon, which was just 48 hours of Ninja Turtle gaming on a whole bunch of Twitch my gaming friends, and I finally got to see it played. And have you ever played that one for Miss DOS?
No, I haven't. I have not played that one. Have not played that. I would like to.
Yes,
Definitely like to.
it's a very confusing game. Our good friend 90s Craig streamed it for us. There's like a ninja way and a walkway, but he does say with time you can actually get better at it because I that's well, spoiler that might be on my list as we dig deeper just because of just how cool that game is. How about if you had the power to create any Ninja Turtle game, what would your design be like? Because we've had a whole bunch. We've had open world, we've had beat 'em ups, we've had platformers. Because you seem to be a huge Ninja Turtle gamer, so I was curious to put
Oh
you on the
yeah.
spot. Like, what kind of
Um.
if you could make your dream game?
Well, I mean, I do like the style of Shredder's Revenge slash Turtles in Time. Like to me, those go. Oh, also you gotta include Hyperstone Heist, even though that's kind of
Yep.
a a remake of Turtles in Time, but shorter and a different in a sense. Um, but I really do. Like I know they're talking about the last Ronin, which everybody is talking about. It's going to be a God of War style, and me personally, I'm a big God of War fan, but I don't feel the God of War style would fit that. So me personally, if I was going to do something, I would do something with the Ronin, something like with the Ronin, but it would be like a little mashup of like Ghost of Tsushima and Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham City style. I don't know if you ever played any of
Oh
the
yes.
Batman games. So to me, that concept for the Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, goes back to kind of like the ninja roots and everything like that and the stealthiness of it.
Yeah, and you get
So
those little beatdown attacks like Batman does that little
yep,
spot where you can take them down.
absolutely. I really feel that would probably be my go-to dream game if I was to do like an open world. Like I would love to do like an open world just like Arkham Asylum or Arkham City. Um, of course, go through the story and so on and so forth. That would be my go-to.
And I could just see all the extras too. Donatello's gadgets we got to find all over the place, something like that. Some more DLC of just some foot crime, some City at War
Hmm.
stuff.
Oh
Very fun.
yeah,
Um,
I could see them doing a lot with it if they, if they played it right, they could do a lot with it though.
yeah, exactly. And they could have DLC for it and just sequels galore. I'd be interested in that. I'd give money for it.
Hmm.
How about some of the mobile games? Were you in any of those? I never. I'm just curious. Like the Turtles Legends. I think there was one called Mutant Madness or something like that. I think it was. It was like
Yeah, there was one that me and my son played. I mean, I can't remember if I want to say it was Legends is the one that
okay.
the one that we played. I like that one. I really don't get on to like a lot of mobile games.
Right.
The only mobile games I really get on is if I get paid to do it. Let's just say that. Um, but no, I did play that for a little bit. Me and my son went back and forth and played that one. Just a little bit. I played it for probably about a year or two. That was it. It was cool, but I mean, just like a lot of other games, it is very, very repetitive, and it kind of was just like stuck. You
Yep.
know.
Exactly. That's why again with my top 10, it's all about replay value, and that's what most of these turtle
Hmm.
games have: high replay value. Whether it's a game that you
Yep.
can beat in 30 minutes or 2 hours, you keep coming back for more. So, with your gaming collection now, are there any that are from your collection that you had as a kid? Because I noticed a lot of your boxes are in supreme condition.
I'm gonna be honest with you. No, like
Okay.
a long time ago, unfortunately, I had to sell like a lot of my collection back in the day. Whenever I was a
Okay.
kid, of course, we all go through stuff as a kid and
Yeah.
families and so on and
GameStop,
so
Funko
forth.
Land. Okay, get $10 for this game, right?
Yeah, and my wife actually kind of when me and my wife first got together, she actually bought me an NES, the game system, and she bought me the first two Turtle games too as well with it. So to be honest with you, I have a lot to thank for my wife for a lot of this stuff, supporting my habit, I guess you could say. But no, she she's the one that got me into collecting again with the turtles and stuff, and one thing led to another, and now I'm here with over 50 some games now. Um,
Incredible. Did you ever think you live in a world where you get games graded? We know comics get graded, we know trading cards get graded, but are you considering grading any of yours?
I really really thought about getting some of them graded, especially the ones that are sealed in box. Um, some of them that I do have signed by like Steve Levine, Mike Dooney, and Kevin Eastman himself. Um, I thought about getting those graded too as well. It is a plan. My biggest thing is that if I'm going to get them graded, for most of them, I want to get graded. I really want to get them signed by the cover artists that have done it. Like of course I want Mantis set the Luco do Mutants in Manhattan.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, so I really want to get the artists to sign those. One of my biggest ones will probably be Tournament Fighters. So
The Nintendo
yeah,
one, right? The NES one?
yeah, that'll be which is this bad boy right here.
Oh,
Oh, so beautiful. Um, but did you know about this though with the Tournament Fighters with the Sega Genesis? Did you know that there's two different boxes?
that I did not know. Thanks for the enlightenment here. I did not know that.
There's a cardboard box and then of course the hard shell plastic one. And this
Okay.
one right here, this doesn't have a game in it. I mean, I can get the game; it's not an issue.
Yeah, it's not right.
But it's the fact that it's actually the old box. It's forget who did these boxes. I remember me and somebody were having a conversation, but I can't remember. It's been so long. Majesto or something like that. They're the ones that did the boxes. That's what it is.
Damn, I never
Majestico
guessed
or
that.
something.
Even
Yeah.
games, so even games were like comics with varying covers almost. I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah. I paid $20 just for the box. And that's more in the game. That was more in the game back in the day. So just for the game. And so,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So claim to fame before we get into our top 10 now. We talked about your achievements. So what games have you beat as a kid or just, as you got older? You finally beat Turtles 1. Did you ever take on any of the Game Boy games or Turtles in Time, the GameCube ones? Any that you
Uh,
beat, fair and square?
yeah, I've
Underway?
besides the SNES one, I beat the Hyperstone Heist. Um, I've beaten I want to say I beat all three. It's been so long though. I beat all three of well, not just all three, but the first three, the first like 2003 Turtles.
Yeah, those are
Um,
good.
on the GameCube, I beat all those. I've Battle Nexus and the Nightmares.
Yeah.
I've beaten those. I haven't beat the TMNT one, which is the
7.
2007
Yeah.
Turtles.
That one's kind of a
I
weird
haven't
one.
I haven't really I really haven't messed with those a whole lot. But the pretty much 2003 Turtles is I beat all those. It's been a long time since I had, but I beat all those too.
Yeah,
So
those I do enjoy. Those some of those may make my list.
mhm.
I think we've talked about. Are you ready to get into this list? You ready to just start sharing?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Sweet. All right. So before we get to our top 10, since like you say, there's over 50 Ninja Turtle games, pretty much. Do you have any honorable mentions that just couldn't make the cut of your top 10? Do you have a few?
Um, like I'm gonna be honest with you, some of them are kind of newer, and one is kind of the older. The Tournament Fighters is one of my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Um,
Which
I
for which console? The Nintendo one or
oh,
the Super
absolutely Nintendo. I
Nintendo?
mean, the
Okay.
Nintendo is so hard to play. Um, but I mean, they were decent on courses like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Um, but I was a big Street Fighter guy. I mean, but the Tournament Fighters would probably be on my honorable mention, along with Mutant Mayhem, which is the newer one of the newer releases. Uh, it's all right. The Splintered Fate one, that one for me was kind of. I kind of feel it could have had a lot more. It kind of gave me a Diablo feel in a sense, a little bit. They could have did it like Diablo, but they didn't. They kind of failed at that one.
No, I agree. There's I don't know if you're aware of it, but they actually have DLC coming out for it now. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen the trailers, but I am excited. And that actually made my honorable mention list too. Splintered Fate. It's nice to have a game you can play online with friends. Or in our
Hmm.
day, back in our day, you need to have a buddy come to your house, or you had to spend some quarters. I mean, you couldn't really. There was no other way about it. You had to go to the
Yeah.
arcade and pay, to play with your friend, or you could only have one buddy. I mean, again, we
Hmm.
grew up. You grew up in the '80s and '90s like myself, right?
Yep.
So that's all we had. I mean, and until I want to say, I mean, the Cowabunga collection, yes, that helps a lot. And Xbox with the re-release of Turtles the Arcade for the 360 was great. But the first time we got to play with all four players was Battle Nexus for PlayStation 2. If you had the
Hmm.
multi-tab for
Yep.
PlayStation 2 or GameCube and
GameCube.
whatnot. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, just cover that. We didn't have to spend money on that.
Hmm.
But yeah, so yeah, I also have Splinter Fate on my honorable mentions. I like it. I'm excited for the DLC. And to me, the replay value is there because you have to beat this game. I want to say I finally fought 8 times to finally find Splinter. So I'm on my 5th play. I'm lucky I have some friends who are good at this game because I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really understand the Hades, Diablo builds.
Yeah.
But I do have that on my honorable mentions, and I also have 2 others: Turtles in Time, the arcade. I couldn't put it in my top 10. I like it. It's to me, it's not as crisp as the first one. It's a little longer. But I
Yeah.
do love hearing Pizza Power from coming out of their shells. I thought that was pretty nice touch when you're. Did you ever play Turtles in Time the Arcade at Pizza? Because that's where I first found it.
Oh yes. Not at Pizza Hut, but at other pizza places. Yes, I have. I played the Turtles in Time. I've also actually there's a place that I go to back in a town I used to live in.
Okay.
It's called Game Cycle, and they actually have an arcade. So they have the yeah, oh yeah, it's a game store slash arcade. They probably have like about 30 different like arcade setups. So they have the
Oh,
Turtles in
wow.
Time
Okay.
reshelled, and as well as the arcade, the TMNT arcade will be considered two on the
Yeah.
NES. They have those two there. They don't have the original Turtles in Time, but you know, they do have the other one. So.
That's pretty wild because how many people I
Hmm.
know I got to experience TMNT reshelled? Because again, when you don't have it, it's weird. You don't have a chance to buy it; it's gone now. You would think digital games, in my opinion, would be able to last forever, but I guess they have a certain shelf life. So, yeah,
Yeah.
unless you bought it at the time like I did, I mean, it's not that great. That wouldn't even make my list reshell. I think some people say it might even be the worst turtle game out there. I think there's worse, and
Oh yes.
the one I guess probably for me you probably know the game just because you have. I'm guessing you have. It's. I want to say it was either Turtles 2 or something Ooze, and it came out from Activision. It was based on the 2012 series. I don't know if you know what it's called. Epics. I can't think of the name right now, but I remember the bosses being a pain in the beat because there was like an invulnerability like glitch. And I prided myself, to be honest, since I am a Twitch streamer, I might have to go back and make this a promise where I try to go and beat every turtle game, even if I need
Danger
my
of the
rewind.
Ooze.
Yeah, thank you. That's the one. Yes, Danger of the Use, which you probably have. Yes, that is the one, and it's for I think it was for Xbox. I don't know if the DS one's any good, but I remember it was just a pitiful turtle experience for me.
Yeah, you get there's this one and this one for these Danger
Oh
of the
wow!
Ooze, and there's also a PS3 version of it as well, but I don't know where it's at right now. Like I
Yeah,
have
that might.
boxes sitting here of them.
Yep, no, that was one that was bad. That TMNT game that you never beat for 2007. Now the Smash Brothers one Smash Up is okay. I really don't like this TMNT one. I thought it was cool. Mikey likes a helicopter like move like he did in Radical Rescue, but the open world gaming, there's really no enemies in there. It's just a lot of just almost a snooze fest for that game. So that's another one that's would not make my list. And then I also had a fan made game. There's two fan made games I highly recommend every Ninja Turtle gamer play at least once. This one is called TMNT Recolored and Extended. So I don't know if you're familiar with this one, Eric.
No.
I'll have to send a link to either my playthrough or the creator of the game. So this is actually, I'm going to guess on a scale of 1 to 10, are you a fan of the original cartoon of the Turtles from the 80s?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
like right there at 8 and 9.
Okay.
Like that's all I watched whenever I was a kid. Saturday
Okay.
morning. It was.
So, and this is a must play. So, what happens is this creator, it's fan made game, took Turtles 2, the arcade from the NES, and extended it with his own style of play. So, your first spot is your April O'Neil in the first episode of the Ninja Turtle cartoon. You're going against Rocksteady and Bebop, where she throws the camera at him, and you're in that chase. And then you go from there to find the turtles, and you're taking on the robots. If you remember that spot in the second episode at Shredder's Test, he's got the quotes from the show down to a T, so it feels like you're watching the episode alone. The only reason it's honorable mention is it's a rather long game. It's about 2 hours. And again, you can only do so much with Turtles 2, the NES game, but I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic playthrough, and I will definitely send you a link how to get it, or at least just check it out for yourself, because it is awesome, especially if you're a big Ninja Turtle game and you haven't played it yet. It's very easy to play on your computer as well. It's not that hard. It pretty much plays like Turtles 2. You get better colors. You can actually play a Splinter. And if you're a fan, I'll say this part for some, but there's a certain character that everyone likes who's in Shredder's Revenge that you really couldn't use in Turtle games unless it was Tournament Fighters for Sega that is in this as well, and you get to play his episode. So it is a lot of fun, and I hope you get some time to check it out soon, dude. It's great.
I'm definitely going to. I got some time, so I can definitely check it out, possibly.
I'll send it to you after this recording. All right, what we got at top number 10? What made the list for you? Let's hear number 10.
From GameCube.
Which one again, Eric? Sorry.
I went with Battle Nexus 2.
Oh, that's the one. Yes. All right. So why did that make your list here?
I mean, it's just like I said, it's been a long time. It's like, to me, it was. I beat it, of course. It's been a long time since I played it and stuff, and I mean, of course, like we talked about the replay value on that one. It to me, like I beat it. That was it. So to me, that's where that one's at. I mean, there's a lot of other games on there that are below that one. It's just wasn't that great. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like we said, this is the first time you can actually experience 4 players with your friends. I also, again, I'm a big Mikey guy, so it was cool. You could actually do the Battle Nexus tournament as a side. And I believe you could unlock the first arcade game in this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think that's a hidden artifact. So, there's a lot of stuff like that. And most of the turtle games we grew up didn't have bonus content, like finding all the artifacts and powering up your turtles with these little, like, Zeo-like crystals. And you also had cool cutscenes from the cartoons. Yeah, I know. I like that game a lot. I had fun with that. All right, we talked about this Manhattan Missions for Miss DOS. Again, if you can't play it, I do recommend at least checking out a YouTube video playthrough. It's gritty. It feels like it's a splash of the first movie and the original comic series. The music's great. Fighting, not so much, but just it's again a Konami game, and they did so much just for Miss DOS. At the time, what do we have for Miss DOS? So what? I don't even know if these were DOS games, like Number Munchers and word munchers and games like that we grew up with. It's all you can do is just hit a space bar and eat a word or a number. And this one actually had some battle. You could throw some shurikens. So that was mine on number 10. How about you for number 9?
Number 9, I would have to go with Mutants in Manhattan. It was a good game, but it had a lot more potential. It could, you know what I'm saying? There could have been a lot more potential.
I feel that because that
You
came out during the
know,
Michael Bay movie, right? I believe.
roughly around there.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of Michael Bay,
Yeah, they had a game. I didn't even know this about that. So is that game any good? I mean, we could just
I've never even played it. I'll be honest with you.
really.
I've never played any of the DS games or anything like that.
I'll have to look in to
Of
see
course,
if I
I
can
got
get
to pick it up for
yeah
for
for
the
turtle
collection.
subs.
But um, yeah, I was just kind of like, it's a Michael Bay, and I'm like, I don't know how well he did with this game, so I'm
Yeah.
just I don't know if it's worth really playing. But Mutants in Manhattan, um, they really dropped the ball on that one for me personally. I think they had a lot of good things, but to make the background, like some of the background, it was like to me it seemed flat.
Oh yeah, and more open world in that one. I think April kind of guides you as where you go. That one, I don't even know if I actually ever beat that one. I know Bebop's one of the earlier bosses in that game. And
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
you have beaten this one, right? Have you beaten it?
Yes, yes. Me and my son have beat it.
Oh, that's now. I wonder if that one has. I'm like that one for funny. It's just the retail value of that game is still pretty strong. It still goes for I think online like $20 or $50. I don't know if it's like because there wasn't that many made
um,
or
yeah, it's kind of rare.
okay.
It's I know. Let's see man. So the one on Xbox One, I think it's Xbox One that I have that is actually sealed. I paid like 40 or $50, but I actually got a discount on it because my buddies hooked me up
Nice.
at the gaming store I go to. Um, but I want to say some of them go roughly between 30 to $40.
Okay.
I want to say the PS3 one right now is actually sitting at 30 that I can get. They have one there, but the cover is oiled, so it's
Uh,
ruined. So I won't get it.
I wonder if does that one still have online capabilities too? Do you know the Manhattan one? I think it might.
I think it might because it is on PS4, and of course you can play it on the PS5.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I we could.
Yeah. Just for
Don't know for sure.
okay. Because that'd be one if like I say, what's cool is there's a library near me that actually has that game, so it's like a modern day blockbuster. I could actually borrow the game for no cost at all. So if you ever wanted to fox it up, that'd be pretty cool actually to see. Because there's only I think 4 or 5 levels too. I don't think the game's that long. I think it's only 4 or 5 levels max.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't very long. So
all right. Number 9 here we have the Radical Rescue for the Game Boy. This is the third Turtle game. The reason I have this on my list is just I want these games to be experiences. I obviously could throw Hyperstone Heist didn't make the list here for me because like we said, it kind of feels like Turtles in Time. So if it's fine, but just the gaming experience as a whole. And this is one I only beat with the rewind feature on the Cowabunga collection. But I mean, you get characters in it you don't see in the other games. You get Scratch, you get Skeleton, which are pretty much just was toys that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s. You get Triceraton. And in my opinion, and for those listening on Spotify or YouTube down the road, do comment below and let me and Eric know. I feel this is the toughest Shredder fight in all the Turtle games combined. He is a royal pain in the shell. Have you ever beaten this third Game Boy game? He is
no.
beyond tough. And this is even with me rewinding and rewinding his time to tax because not only do you got to take him on once, you have to take him on again. And what's cool about this game too is now you do get this in Hyperstone Heist, which I did like, is a gauntlet boss battle type level, and you get that in this Radical Rescue game. Plus, being a Mikey guy, there's a good story here. You actually have Michelangelo by himself. He has to find the other turtles, similar to Turtles 1 for Nintendo. You know, like how you said you can rescue a turtle.
Mm-hmm.
That part's good. Again, real quick, how good are these Konami soundtracks for all these old school Turtle games? Is there like not a bad game with their melodies are so captivating in there, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's my ringtone.
Yeah.
It's my ringtone on my phone.
And your song pretty much is your guys' podcast song. Sounds exactly like a video game on it. It's amazing.
I don't like they could fail miserably with all the games and stuff, but the soundtracks are just absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
They're really, 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 really good.
From start to finish. And then you know it's a good one because you're just humming in your head after you're not even playing the game anymore. It's just in your head bopping.
The first thing that's popped in my head, dun, 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 bum, 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 bum. Yeah, the first Turtle game, yeah.
Yep, exactly. It's like, and just in your head all day for the rest of the day. All right, my man. What do we got for number 8 on your list here on our top 10 turtle games of all time?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am. I know you said the Hyperstone Heist is, it's kind of like it is the Turtles in Time, so it's on my next one.
That's fine by me. No problem. No arguments there.
Hyperstone Heist. I liked it. I remember the first time I actually played it as a kid. Like my buddy brought it over, and we were just sitting there playing it. And it was like the first time I ever hearing about it. And he had a Sega, and so I was like, "Oh, okay. There's a Turtles game on Sega. What? Okay." So we played it, and we sit there like the first go through, we beat it, and I'm just like, "Dude, this is just like Turtles in Time, but different." But I like it. So to me, I'm going to be big on the Turtles in Time and the Hyperstone Heist, which I actually have.
Well, I'm glad you put it on that list because that's the only game that Master Tatsu's in, and like we talked about, you have a nice gauntlet battle, and if you put that game on hard mode, watch out, fellas, you'll get a good workout on your fingers. There's no joke. Yeah. When you put on hard mode, there are a whole bunch of foot soldiers, and like my friend taught me, Vance. There's no you got the nice old school cover there. Beautiful. And manual included. Gotta have that manual, baby. You need to know how to play that game.
Man.
Did you have a favorite boss fight in Hyperstone Heist or a favorite level in there?
My favorite level it was just fighting Shredder. I loved fighting the Shredder at the end. That was just me. I enjoyed the ending of it because it was satisfying for me. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a good game. Again, it's hard to just pick 10. It's like picking your 10 favorite, relatives. If you got a big family, it's very hard to do this year. No, I have no problem with that one on the list. Like I say, hard mode is crazy. Music in there is great. What else did I like about that one? Just the dash button is imperative. If you can't dash in that game, you ain't gonna beat it. You need that dash button to take on those foot soldiers. So for over here on number 8, we have Turtles 3 Mutant Melee, the one we were talking about with I believe that's what it's called, Mutant Melee. That's the one where it's the Konami ones. You may have that cover for me. I wish I had that game near me. That one I like a little bit more than Battle Nexus, and the reason is with Battle Nexus, you had to have all 4 turtles picked to be on the screen. For the third one, you're able to have all 4 turtles right away, and you can just pick and choose your turtles with your D-pad. So if you're playing with a buddy, they can pick one. If not, don't matter. They're all on the screen. They all have different abilities, like Donatello does his machines. There's some good battling. You can also unlock Turtles in Time, the second arcade game, which I thought was great. So not only in Turtles 2 Battle Nexus do you get to unlock the original arcade, and the third one, you get to unlock the second one. And it's another one where I like this game. It's good replay value. There's some great cutscenes, some great dialogue. Shredder's still around, and that's one of the most menacing, defying Shredders of all time. Yep, there it is.
And then you get the Smash Up.
Yep, Smash Brothers getting out. Did you like that one? Smash Up? I thought it was okay.
I haven't played that one, but I think I also have. Yeah, it's also got the manual too as well.
Oh man, this is. I hope you guys are checking us out on YouTube for the show and trailer too. This is a nice collection you got here of every Turtle game pretty much that we've seen here. Did you ever?
Go ahead.
No, did you ever think again? Like some of these games are double value. Like Turtles in Time goes for almost $100 now. It's crazy how some of these games have skyrocketed in value.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Like I have the Manhattan Project. So like when I originally just had the original game, just the game, and it was like $20 just for the game itself, and now it's going for like 40 or like between 30 or 40 just by itself.
Wow.
Of course, completing boxes like I want to say roughly around $200 to $300 for that. And then you got the arcade game, which it's roughly around $90 to $100 complete in box. So
with the pizza coupon, right?
Yeah.
Oh, now I see some artwork on there. Oh, who drew that? No, is that Steve? Oh,
that's Steve.
Very nice.
Yep.
Some good stuff there, my man. All right, Eric, what we got cashed in at number 7? What's lucky number 7 here for you?
Lucky number 7, I say the Game Boy Follow the Foot Clan. I don't know what it is about that, but I liked. I never beat it. I made it to like like the second or third level. I mean, this is young. I haven't played it in a very, very long time. I need to play it on the Cowboy Collections, but
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, to me, I really, really, it brings back the childhood in me, the child in me, to say the least. So that would be my number 7.
Yeah. And you get chills with just the name of the title. I mean, it's just so fall
Hmm.
to foot like, ooh, what is that all about? It just seems a lot more violent than Turtles in Time or Hyperstone Heist. Just the name of the game just sounds so defying.
Yeah,
Now is that the first one or second one for the Game Boy? That one, the Fall of the
it's
Foot
the
Clan.
first one.
First one, okay. Now, it is cool about that one. I like that you can pick your levels right away. You don't have to play them all. If you just want to go to the final level, you can just fast forward there.
Yeah.
And Konami loved Roadkill Rodney, didn't they? He is in so many games, and he's only in one cartoon. I never understood. I wish he would have been in a lot more episodes than just the second Turtle episode. He's in Turtles in Time. He's in Turtles 3. He's in Turtles 2. Hyperstone Heist, the game you just mentioned for Game Boy. He's in a lot of games.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I hope you're able to beat that one day because it is fun. It is a satisfying victory.
Yeah, eventually, I really need to get on there and actually get on the Cowabunga collection. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie, like it was it was fighting tooth and nail just to get that first game completed because it was just like beating Shredder towards the end. I mean, he kicked my butt so many times.
Yeah, and then Krang's the final boss too, which I like in the
Yeah,
first two Game Boy games. It was a
yeah.
nice little twist, which I thought was pretty wild.
Hmm.
And for me, it was I never actually played the Game Boy games. My cousin had the first one, so it was just I was never a fan of. I mean, again, it's technology. It was really cool. I mean, to have that system in your hand, and you need
Hmm.
that light. If you don't got that light, you can't see anything. So
Yeah.
my friend blessed me with borrowing his. Do you remember the Super Game Boy for the
Hmm.
Super Nintendo? So he had that, and I got to borrow his first two Game Boys, and that's how I beat that one. And the one that's on my list is kind of funny is the second game of the Ninja Turtles Game Boy trilogy. The second one I liked a lot. I thought it was a little bit better than the first one just because you had a couple more moves, cool storyline, again, good music,
Yeah.
and again, great replay value from these Game Boy games, guys. They're
Hmm.
the fun never ends. I can go back right now and play it and feel like it's my first time playing. The music's in there, especially the one you brought up, the first one. Like when you're choosing your turtle, that music just pulls you in right there off the bat. And then when they get captured, you feel so bad because there's that cut to where it's like, oh damn, Donatello was captured. It's like he's like on the ground,
Yeah.
like trying to pull himself up.
Yep.
It's like straight out of the comics.
So,
So
man, I'm going to play it today.
yeah, I mean, after talking about this, right? It's just that's what we're doing is here, hyping it up. What do you got for number 6?
Number 6. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Was Out of the Shadows.
Oh, thank God you put on yours. I couldn't make mine.
Oh,
Yes, I want to hear
absolutely.
why it's on your list.
I don't know. I seen the trailer of that game, and I just like, oh my god, I gotta get this, and I got it. And it was like when they did the whole thing where all 4 turtles were right there, and they put their shells, and and I was like, oh my god, nostalgia. So, to me, Out of the Shadows is right there with the 6. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Some people might not have so much, but me, oh my gosh. I remember coming home and when I was in Pittsburgh, I remember coming home and like, all right, playing some turtles after I get off work, gonna go home play some turtle games, or on the weekend on my days off. Just sit there, grind it. Loved it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you had to grind this one. You had to get all your XPs. You had to get your experience to level up. Because you couldn't beat that game unless you didn't level up. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I couldn't beat it at level 1. That one also had great online play. Because that one I have for 360. And that was another one I needed friends or random, randos to play with to beat that one. The Karai fight is tough. Shredder's fight is very tough. The second Karai fight's intense. And like you get the first. I mean, when you turn that game on and you hear TURTLE power. When you're like, oh my god, I got the movie right here with me too. I mean, it was great. And Leonardo on that pose on the loading screen where he's sitting there just like the movie doing his meditation. I mean, it's a game you really can't go off. And I do hope there's been talks. A couple of my friends have been trying to get like almost like a pledge to bring that game back. I don't know if you're familiar with it. There is like a site that they're trying to. I'll have to say that too, just if you get a minute, just to put like on a game you want back because it was on Steam. I think it was only for like a week or two, and they pulled it off again. It was just recently there, and I know you've been like you're licking your chops just to play it again. I could tell.
Oh, I am, man. Like I told my wife because I was like, I remember it being digital, and I was looking it up because me and my wife we were, I was going through all like my games my turtle collection like a few
Yeah.
years ago, and I was looking up the games. I was like, man, is there a way to get Out of the Shadows? Is there an actual physical copy? Because if you can't, I'm playing that game. And I come to find out it was just pure digital because I remember having it digital, and I was like, I can't get it. And like you have to have a key and it'll be access it on the PC. That's it. That's all you can get. And I'm just like, you're terrible people. Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, it
This is
hurts. Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Especially
really hurts my heart because that was like I said, I would say Out of the Shadows would probably be up there a little bit more if I could actually play it.
yeah. Because it's
I
high
would.
replay value. It's again, it never gets old. There's other options in there too. I think there's they call it arcade mode. I think you got there's like survival mode, and you can play with friends. You get, like you say, the wishbone crunch move you get pretty much in that game with you team up with all 4 turtles, which is awesome
Love
to
that.
pull off.
Love that.
Yeah, voice acting is not bad. There's pizzas on the ground. Great fighting sequences. Because again, I love our old beat 'em ups, but this one it's pretty much what a turtle game should be. So, and I'm glad you made your list. So, for me, I have another. This is the fan made game. The second one I'm going to bring up. Have you ever heard of Rescue Palooza?
Yes, I have. I have seen that one. I haven't played it, but I have seen it. Isn't that the one that's kind of like the old, how can I say, like the old Zelda style?
Kind of. It's pretty much like our old. It's pretty much Turtles 1, 2, and 3, and it's like a Cowabunga collection mixed into one game. So if Mercil X is a creator of this game, and I hope I get him on the show one day because he has put so much passion into this game. So you pretty much have Turtles like 2 and Turtles 3 from Nintendo movesets. You got the flip throw, you got your special attacks, and what happens is Shredder captures everybody. And there's about 20 different levels. Some are based on the first Nintendo game, Game Boy, all the old music. And every time you beat a level, you get new characters. I mean, you get to use General Trag, Granitor, Leatherhead, Tempestra, Usagi Yojimbo, Burn Thompson, Irma, Vernon is a playable character. So he's got like 50 different characters in here. So this is another guy. I'm going to have to send you a link to see if you can find a way to play because it's another awesome game. It's not that difficult. If you have a controller that works with your PC, like I use my PlayStation controller. It worked just fine.
Yeah, I have quite a few different. This is my PS5 controller, which has the buttons in the back, whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that should work. It shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm more of a controller guy than console. That's just how I am. A lot of my friends prefer mouse and keyboard. I grew up with a controller. I need that controller feel.
Yeah, same here. I don't have a PC, but at some point I probably end up getting it with this whole console stuff. It's
just to get these fan-made games played. Yeah, I mean, it's another highly recommended. I play it once or twice a year. It's good replay value, cool story, and just the passion in this game. You could tell it's just like the one we brought up earlier, the other fan-made game, just to a T. There's really nothing I wouldn't change in that game. All right, my man Eric, we are halfway home. What do you got at number 5?
So I'm going OG on this one. So I would have to say the TMNT, the first Nintendo turtle game. To me, I always had that replay value with that. It's just constantly, getting through the dam, and like I said, I finally beat it on the Cowabunga collection.
Yeah. Congrats.
But to me, it just hits home to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with that one. The first 3 games, I grew up with all 3 of them. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, they're kind of on my list right here because of the nostalgia feel. Because I played them a lot whenever I was a kid. So,
and they're still good value for kids nowadays. I mean, they're still because that's the thing is it's a good enough challenge that it's a satisfying victory to all these games, in my opinion.
Yep.
Especially that first turtle game. Like you say, just beating the dam was just like almost climbing a Mount Everest for some people, just to finally get through that swimming level because, you touch the electric sea when you lose a stick, but if you touch that bottom, you're gone. You can't change turtles. You're done.
Yeah.
So you had to learn how to swim that.
I just hear the sound.
Yeah, just how cool. I mean, that's how cool that game was. I mean, automatic death like I said, I know it wasn't targeted at kids. It was more like the comic and, earlier cartoon-like feel, but just, I mean, it's just, what? And then when you get game over, yes, you get to continue. But for me, if you don't get those power-ups, like the boomerangs, what was your favorite power-up? Did you like the scrolls or did you like the boomerang more? It's kind of
I like the boomerangs because I get them back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can keep using them and all that other stuff, but of course, you know, you're a Mikey guy. I'm a Raphael
Yeah.
guy. Pretty sure Justin's probably already told you about that.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
anyways, I use Donnie a lot. So my wife is very, very big. Like, whoa, why is Donnie always left out? Why is Donnie always? Guess what? I use him more in the first two games. You know, he's got that reach and all that other stuff, and he's killing everything one shot, most of them.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And what's cool about that one is just as you get older, you realize that every turtle actually wasn't as bad as you thought they were.
mhm,
Everybody knew Donatello because of the reach and he was strong. But Raphael, I didn't know as a kid, he could take out the mechanical weapons with just one hit, which Mike
mhm.
and Leo can't do unless they get down to half their health. Then they become stronger. Like my cousin and I didn't know that when we were playing this game at 4 and 6 years old. We just thought they were training. It's like, yeah, he killed so many guys, so we got strong. I was like, no, it's he goes down to half his health, then they can start popping just as strong as Donatello.
See, I didn't even know that. That's actually kind of crazy. I did not
Yeah.
know that. Holy moly!
Yeah. So now when you go back here, you're like, okay, cool. So rap actually he does add value. Because for me, I always he was just always my crash test dummy. It's like, well, sorry, somebody's
You're
got to
going
swim.
into them.
It's gonna be you. Yeah, exactly. You're going to the dam. Sorry, buddy. I need my and that's why he probably yells damn in the movie so loud because he knows he's going to the dam.
Damn! That's a good valid point. That's a hell of an Easter egg right there. I love it.
Yeah, so for me, number 5 is the first arcade game on the at the arcade.
Yeah.
And what more can you say? It's right to the point. You feel like you're playing the cartoon. You get anything in there you need. Great to play with friends. Still great to play today. It's an easy game to play within a half hour. There's really nothing bad to say. I mean, it's very painful when you hear the when Shredder zaps you with the retro mutagen gun at the end of the game. Again, just Konami, they were not afraid to just say, no, you're gone. Like, there's no way to come back. Sorry. Put in
Yeah.
another quarter, please. And you
They
just
were
sit there.
ruthless.
Yes. And when you hear that music, and like, no, mom, I need another quarter. I'm out. Come on, please. Or if you screw up and you hit it too fast and you don't join back in, you're like, what I just do? I had that happen to me
Man.
twice. So,
Oh man.
no, it felt good to finally beat that one. All right, what we got? So your Fantastic Four, so to speak.
Well, you already said the arcade, but I
Yeah.
did the arcade NES.
Ooh, okay, good call.
I wasn't really thinking about the arcades, but
Yeah,
arcade the NES, yes, that would probably be be
yeah.
my biggest one. Like I said, it's just that was one of the first Turtle games I played was the arcade. So with that being said, I mean it hits home.
Do you like that Coca-Cola bear? The winter bear. I always call him the Coca-Cola bear. I forget. He has a pretty cool name too. It's in the manual. I can't think of his name right now. If I was, I mean, you guys should know that guy's name because I've beaten him. He's the dude that throws the big snowballs at you and he comes by the module.
Yeah. Oh God, man. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's gonna come to us right when we're done with the show here and be like, oh, how the heck did we not know that? I thought he would have been a
I
cool dude to have in
remember.
the cartoon. He had that badass like leather jacket. He was a tough character to fight too in that level.
God, I'm having a huge. It's been so long, but it's like I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm just like, oh my God, like
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually look it up now because I'm gonna be too embarrassed when I get comments like, "How did you not know that?" Well, how about that fight with the headless horseman guy? Did you the Shogun level? Did you think he was a pretty cool fight too? Because yeah, you brought up Turtles 2 for the tunnel. Those are two levels that you didn't get in the arcade.
yeah. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's been so long, so I don't remember making it that far because I always got my butt kicked. So
Oh,
I
really?
was
Oh, you
like,
didn't have a family member, a friend to help play. See, I was lucky. I had a
no.
brother who was 2 years younger than me and a cousin 1 year younger than me, and we all loved Turtles. So I pretty much was always playing that game with two players growing up. So it always helped to have my cousin or my brother help me out. Yeah, that's tough to play on your own.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was the only child for the longest, and then I had a stepsister and everything.
Right.
Um, but I did. There was a couple people that actually had like all three of the turtle games, but they never played it. The only time it got played is whenever I went over there and played them. I was like, "Oh, turtles, let's go!" So I only played them. I played a lot by myself. So of course I didn't make it very far on some of them, and some of them, I only had limited time on them. So, but like I said, like I kind of want to hop on my Cowbunga collection. Just
Yeah, and just start
this
playing, man.
butte,
Well, so
this butte.
Oh wow, that's some
This
amazing
one,
artwork.
this one's still sealed, but I actually have like 2 other versions of it, I think.
What came in that Cowabunga? I don't even recall ever seeing one of those live before. That's the one I'm
Yeah.
more familiar with, just like the smaller one where. But there's just so many extra features on there too. You got all these like cartoon stills. You get to play. I mean, if you want to play the American game, cool. You can play the Japanese one, which has little variations in there for our old school games. Wow. Wait,
Yeah, I
what's
got
is
the
that turtle? Is that Hyperstone Heist or?
Nope. That one right there is this is the Super Famicom version
Okay.
of Tournament Fighters.
Wow.
My wife ended up getting that one for me on eBay. So is the I really would like to get the Japanese versions. I actually lived in Japan for a little bit, just a
Oh,
little,
nice. A little
you
fun
know.
fact for us. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'd really like to get the Famicom and the Super Famicom versions of these NES ones. So.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That's like
Hmm.
fantastic. I can't wait to see when your collection's all back on those, on your grails, like your towers or whatnot.
Yeah, my shelves. I'm not gonna lie. Like I miss my turtle room so much. It was painted like a turtle shell and everything.
Oh
And I
man,
actually had like specially made shelves. I had like shelves that were actually painted, like all the turtle
yeah.
colors. And then I actually had shelves that were corner shelves that were, I had corner shelves, but also had ones that were shaped like a pizza slice, and they were painted like a pizza. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty wild. I got to see those pictures someday, man. Either Justin's fan group on Facebook or something. That'd be awesome to see.
I actually have them in one of the rooms. I could probably pull them out for you
Oh,
just to show
yeah,
you
I'd love
the.
to check it out. I'd appreciate that. All right, number 4 for me is the one you just brought up at number 5, Turtles for Nintendo. I think this game has really aged well, in my opinion.
Hmm.
It's a great challenge. Very frustrating as a kid, I get it, but just, I mean, each turtle has their own uniqueness. The music is great. The challenge is still always going to be there because you can, if you even get better at the game, you can challenge yourself with speed runs and whatnot. To finally beat this game clean for me was a thrill. I never got to do it as a kid. The closest I came as a kid, well, Game Genie we beat it with, but even Game Genie, there's that spot if you remember where you're walking down and those spikes can smush you. That still kills you even with the Game Genie cheat. But one time I was, I think, a junior in high school. My buddy's like, Mike, we're beating this thing. He brings over his Nintendo, gets all the scrolls, and we still couldn't beat. I call them Stormtrooper. Remember those guys with the lasers? The Stormtrooper dudes in like the Technodrome where they shoot those little
Yeah.
lasers. We just couldn't get past them for the life of us. And now I find out, thanks to my good streaming friend Ali Pop and some others, my other friend Laura Pookums, there's a couple ways to dodge those guys. You can just get down and duck, and they go right over your head, or you can do like some sort of like trick jump where you jump in the air and then they actually like disengage.
Hmm.
And those are the toughest guys. I think they're tougher than Shredder. Now, did you have a favorite boss fight in that game? I thought it was cool beating Rocksteady's kids. It was like, hey man, I'm doing a badass turtle walk. I get to go walk up to April. I like to fight with Rocksteady. And did you like the Mecha Turtle fight? So like the Metalhead, was that one of your go-tos? Just because you beat that as a
I
kid, or
actually liked the Metalhead ones. I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie. I'm also a fan of Metalhead
mm-hmm.
too. I love Metalhead.
Oh yeah,
I would say the Metalhead fight was probably one of my favorite ones.
yeah, the good
But
old
yeah.
Mecha Turtle. Yeah, he's because you get two,
Hmm.
you got to fight him and the clone. So it's not just one. And you're like, wait, what the hell's going? And he's strong as hell too.
Hmm.
If you get up close, like, which is why I think boomerangs are your choice of weapon, because if you got your boomerangs, you're in good shape. If you don't got boomerangs, you might be in a world of hurt against that guy.
Yeah.
All right, we're down to our 3. What is number 3?
I would have to say Manhattan Project.
Okay,
NES.
let's hear why. I love that one too.
I just I don't know. Like to me, it was one of the better turtle games that they actually did for me. It,
Mhm.
even though it had nothing to do. uh, Isn't it the one that's the one that didn't have nothing to do with? Oh God, I can't even think. Oh, the
Um,
Triceratons.
yep, a good
Yeah,
memory. Yep, which is on the Arco. It's an amazing Arco that you showed us earlier.
yeah,
He's right there ready to fight. He
amazing.
didn't even make the game.
But that was a disappointment in that game. But it was I don't know. To me, I haven't beat it yet.
Oh, really?
But it was
Now, see, that's
no.
one we can do if you have the Cowabunga collection for the Switch. If you're ever interested, I'll game up. I love that game. You can play that one online with friends if you're ever down. That's one of my favorite. It's well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, that's still it's still on my list. I just
Yeah, yeah.
the
That one. I don't know what it is. What about that game is? It just felt so good. It felt so right. it was just what they did with the first two games to that, and it was the best.
Yeah,
You know.
no, I agree. All right, number 3 for me is the newer one, Shredder's Revenge. I don't know what else I would do to this game if they gave me the power to make this game. It's literally a who's who of all the villains you fight. The mechanics are awesome. You get the voices from the cartoon to come on, which was a surprise for everybody. They just released DLC last year, which is crazy. This game's already 3 years old. You get to play as Mondo, Gecko, and Mona Lisa, who are just 2 fan favorites. 6 players. You can increase the difficulty if you want to just have more madness. There's ways to change it. They actually have retro music now too. So if you just want to have a feel like you're playing a Turtles 3 or Turtles 2 for the NES, you can do that. I really don't think anything's missing from this game. Just fantastic game. And yeah, it's one of the few that beats out the retro games, but it has that retro feel to it. Have you ever played Shredder's Revenge? You've had to have, right?
Maybe just a little bit.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that was one I played for like 2. I played that for like 2 weeks straight. There was nothing else I touched for the first 2 weeks playing that one. So,
question is, did you ever get the trophy for the 100+ combo?
I'm gonna say no. I got lucky with my friends on the Steam because I bought it. It's funny. It's like you do with your collection. I have it for Steam and the Switch just because I wanted to play with my buddies on the PC. And we actually did the very hard, or what's it called? Gnarly mode, I think, is the hardest difficulty. Right? You got chill. I forget. I think it's chill, okay, and gnarly or something. I know gnarly's the toughest, and we did get a 1 minute clear on that. But the 100 count, who did you use for that?
Shoot. I want to say I used Raphael for that one. I actually used that one. I literally just got a foot soldier in the corner and just
juggled them.
Yeah, he just kept. And I remember a podcast that me, Justin, and a couple of the other guys, we were actually talking about games. And they kind of creeped on my profile. It was like, how did you get the 100 combo? And I'm like, man, it's just how I just got one of them in the corner and I just kept going and going. And I was like, I'm making sure I get that achievement. I was trying to go for like 200. So,
well, GG's to you on that one. That is not an easy one to get on, especially the way you did it too. You say you just juggled a foot soldier in a corner.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, we are down to our final 2. What do you got for number 2 on this list?
Oh, we were just talking about it. Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, nice. See, it's neck and neck pretty much with ours. So, did you have who was your favorite character to use in that game?
I actually like Karai.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, I don't know why it is. Like cool. Casey Jones, April was cool. Everybody else was cool, but to actually use, cool Sugi, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. But for me, it was just like you don't get to see Sugi in there very often in games. You don't get to see Karai in games. I don't know what it was about Karai, but I loved her combos and all that other stuff. Like I don't know what it was. It was just, to me, I kicked people's butts with that.
And it's just a fresh take. That's why this game is up on our list of being one of the top of all time, just because the amount of turtles, you get the extra characters, which you didn't get in the other turtle games. We never got to use Splinter until the game you mentioned, Battle Nexus, in our generation. That was the first time we got to use him.
Yeah.
I think this might be April's first time ever being a character. Oh no, she was in Tournament Fighters, but for a beat 'em up style, you couldn't use her. And Karai, again, you couldn't use her in anything but Battle Nexus. So I wonder if that's where they got the idea from to use these other characters, because she does have some awesome moves in that game.
Yeah.
All right, for me, number 2 is the one you just mentioned, Turtles 3 for NES. I think this is the reason why this one's probably special, is because this was like almost like not graduation, but it was like the Turtles were not going. Let's say they were going away. Like they hit their prime. Yeah. This was like the last hurrah before Power Rangers and X-Men took over our lives.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact date off my head, but I'm guessing this game I think was 92. And what more do you want? I mean, it's great difficulty, great replay value, music's fantastic. Every turtle has their own special. You get to fight Shredder not once but twice. I mean, these video games love the Super Shredder. If it wasn't for Turtles 2, the movie, we wouldn't have Super. They love him in these games. You get Toka
Mhm.
and Razor in this game to fight. Leatherhead's a true tank. The only guys missing in this one would have been Rat King, but we get him in another game that's on my list later. And I would say the Triceraton you mentioned. I thought he would have been cool to have, but
Yeah.
like you said, you haven't beaten this game yet, so it shows you that this is another tough cookie that just. But it's
Mhm.
still fun. See, that's what's cool about these games is even if you haven't beaten them, you still just love playing them. And not all games have that. Like there's a lot of games where it's like, this one sucks. I'm not picking this up. But these turtle games, you keep going back to them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't. It's like you say, with the turtles, the
Mm-hmm.
Manhattan Project. I don't know. It's just like I feel like the first two, it was just it was perfect, but I never got a chance to excel to the other levels. But I really need to play. I've always gonna be like, man, I need to sit down and I need to grind this game. I need to grind it. I just need to do it. I
Yeah.
really do.
No, that could be a good goal for 2025. Get that Turtle trilogy done, completed this year.
Yes, sir.
It's especially if you got some time. Again, if you need me, I'd say I got you for the Switch. It's one of my favorites of all time. I got no problem playing with, and I really have nothing bad to say about it. And I've been saying it for years when I do my streams. Like it's this one and the one that's number one. It's like they're just so neck and neck. But
Hmm.
we got to hear what's number one for you.
It's probably gonna be your same one too. Turtles in Time. It's got to be because that's the only one that's left off the list for you and me. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, let's hear yours. Why this one is number one? You like it? What's so special about it?
man, I don't. It's just I don't know. I feel like they just hit everything correctly on this game, and it was just yeah. I don't know. It was so smooth. The fighting was awesome. The the bosses were absolutely awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved how they went to like the different time zones. They had the Jurassic, and of course you had to fight. Slash at the end, and or Leatherhead. I love the fact that I got to fight Leatherhead in that one too as well. And then of course you had to fight Krang, and then Shredder, then Super Shredder, and like, and then the surfing. Kind of like the little surfing, and they even put the pizza monsters in it.
Yeah.
Pizza monsters, like I don't know. They just for me they just hit everything
Yeah, there's nothing
on.
missing because you couldn't make it a four-player game at the time for Super Nintendo. They didn't have a four-player port, and I don't know how you could throw four turtles in there. So it's my number one too. There's nothing bad to say. The music's great. It's just tons of fun to play by yourself or with
Mhm.
friends. There's nothing nothing bad at all about this game. It's funny because not even turtle fans have this in like their top 10 of Super Nintendo games of all time, which shows you how good of a game that is. Not just
Oh
turtle fans,
yeah,
it's just anybody who's a gamer in general. It's probably if we're talking beat 'em ups, it's this and Streets of Rage 2 for me for beat 'em ups of all time. And right there with Turtles 3 for NES. Those are my favorite. And beat 'em ups are my favorite kind of game, probably because of Ninja Turtles, because just what's better than just playing with your buddy, kicking a whole bunch of foot soldiers' butts? I mean,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, look. I mean, I think Shredder's Revenge took a page out of Turtles in Time because it's been notably, one of the most not like you said without even Turtle fans,
yeah,
um, one of the favorite games of Turtles in Time. I
yes,
mean, it's just I don't know. It was they just they just did it perfect to me. That's
yeah.
just me.
I don't think there's Eric, I have nothing on your list that I would disagree with, and it's pretty cool. I pretty much our last like five or three are just pretty much neck and neck, just a
Hmm.
hair up and a hair down. So, is there anything else you want to talk about with Turtle Gaming? Anything else you'd like to share from your past or future? Or
So I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I know we talked about the last Ronin. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to the last Ronin. I really am. I'm looking forward to it. I've had to. I've had the. I've been lucky enough to hang out with Ben and Kevin, and we've got to talk to them, especially about the last Ronin and stuff. Especially Ben. Ben, I don't know if you know Ben Bishop. Ben Bishop is absolutely amazing person, even though he murdered our turtles in the last Ronin. Um, no, but I'm very, very, very looking forward to that game. Like I said, I do like God of War. I love the storytelling. I love, I was a little leery about the new God of War that they came out with, and I don't know which God of War that they're going to go with. Either way, I'm like I said, I'd rather it be Arkham or Ghost of Tsushima type style. Um, but that's one game I'm really looking forward to, just because I got so, I don't know, like I got so hooked, you know, into the last Ronin world. Um, that's to me, that's what I'm really looking forward to, is seeing how this game is going to come out and how it's going to be. I just hope it's not going to be anything like, Mutants in Manhattan. Um, you know, I hope it gets done right. I really
Yeah.
do.
Because it's like the only turtle game that we're kind of missing is just this one player open world that actually is good. I mean, we talked about TMNT 07 has a little bit of an open world but it's just it just was not
Yeah.
good at all. It was
Yeah.
just a push because the movie was coming out. It really wasn't made by
Yeah.
passionate
Love.
gaming, in my opinion. So it's cool to have, but it didn't really do anything. So, Eric, so where can they find you? I know you're a co-host of Epic Tales from the Sewers. Are there any other social medias you'd like to share with us if people want to keep in touch with you in your soon-to-be new turtle room that's going to be coming around, hopefully by the end of the year, to see this all come back? You showed us earlier. If you want to turn your camera really quick, just all this work you got to do with all your turtle stuff in the corner, loaded in those boxes, man.
Yeah, I mean, people can also look me up. You can look me up at Eric Will on Facebook. Of course, I don't do too many. I don't have too many social media things, but I do have one on Instagram, and it's TMNT Dad. Hang on, I gotta bring that up just to make sure I got this correct, because
Nope.
I don't get on Instagram too much. But my wife, of course, my wife has been making blankets, so I've been on there for her, advertising her. Um, yeah, it is TMNT underscore Dad on
Okay.
Instagram. So that's another place that people can get in contact with me. But other than that, I mean, people can hit me up on social media. I'm always willing to talk turtles. I'm also willing to help people as well. I've been very known to help people find comics, the last running comics to be specific.
Oh.
Um, I found a couple variants that people didn't know about that I've actually dug out. Uh, Me and a couple buddies have actually helped dig out a couple other variants, like metal variants, to say the least. Um, but yeah, I mean, people can find me on Facebook, Eric Will. I'm on a lot of turtle groups. I run a couple turtle groups myself, and Instagram. That's it.
Awesome. Well, Eric, I appreciate all the time you've had with us today. And the last nugget is the character's name was Tora, the Coca-Cola
Tora.
character. Tora.
I do
Yeah.
remember
So,
that name now.
yep, exactly. Just wanted to make sure I threw that out there for the end of the show. All righty, guys, this is going to do it for our episode of Shellonomics. Eric, I hope, and great talking to you again, man. And be in touch soon, buddy.
I'm